In today's video, let's do something a little bit unique and different. I am going to make a table runner using this. I am going to use some lace burlap. In today's video, let's do something a little bit unique and different. I am going to make a table runner using this. I am going to use some lace burlap around my table runner. I'm going to use linen also. Let me show you what they look like. Starting with this beautiful blue and white floral. And here is my linen fabric. So I am going to use that as my as my border. As well as my border, I'm going to also utilize it as my binding. Let's get started. Let us start by simply cutting the blue fabric in half to ensure that we have the right size. Next, I'm going to sew these two blue fabrics front sides together to ensure I have the length that I need for my linen table runner. Okay, this is sewn together really nice and neatly. What I need to do now is measure the length of the linen to ensure that it is the right length. Here is the linen now, so I'm going to roll it out to full its length. Next, I'm going to take this blue and I'm going to put them front sides together. This should be a very quick project. All right, I've got to stop the video and give you some life update. I've been meaning to share this with you for the longest time and I keep forgetting. So here we go with my life update. I have two to share with you. Let's get started on it. So the first update is that I have now become a grandmother again for the second time. Yes, I know. So this is my beautiful first granddaughter, Lana, and she is so amazingly beautiful, vibrant. She's always excited, always happy. I've never seen a child so happy. Anyway, here are some pictures of both of them, and I'm going to show you Lana first because she's just always so excited about everything, smiling, beautiful, beautiful darling she is. All right, so now that you've met Lana, here's the second addition to the family. This is Rome, and he was born, I think, on the 3rd of August. I think he weighed about 8 pounds. And yes, I know August is a long way away. So yeah, that's what I said. I keep forgetting to actually share these beautiful pictures with you. It does break my heart, though, that I am missing out on everything, but there's not much I can do. Sometimes it makes me sad, and I do get a little bit teary over it, but yeah, I don't know. There's not much I can do, but he is absolutely gorgeous, and both these children look just like their parents. When looking at Rome here, I can see my son when I had him, because my son who has these children is my firstborn, and he's the one that's actually still in England with his wife. And yeah, I mean, looking at him right now at Rome, I can definitely see my son, same color, same lots of hair, just was always a very beautiful boy. And here he is on the quilt that his mom goes. This is the no sew baby quilt that I actually made. And they said he loves it. And by the picture, I can tell he absolutely loves it. But yeah, it does make me a little bit teary sometimes looking at these pictures, but it's just so lovely to be able to share it with you guys. I hope you enjoy the pictures, and there they are, both of them together, so cozy and beautiful. I mean, what more can you ask for? Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous children. Just absolutely gorgeous. So I just wanted to share these beautiful images with you and hope that you celebrate in our joy. I know it's a little bit late, but yeah, it's never too late to celebrate children because they're just so precious. So, my next update, so excited to tell you about this one. And again, I have been meaning to share this with you. So, I have started another channel. It's called Country Home Decor. On this channel, you will be happy to know that I love home decorating. I don't know if you've ever spotted that in the videos that I post for my quilting. This channel is all about home style, cooking, my gardening, decorating, crafting, literally thrifting, and just making my home and my space and my life simple, happy, and just redefining things that I really enjoy into this modern world. And I just love doing it. And so I thought I will share with you, my traditional styling of the house that we live in and all the things that I thrift, decor, and DIY in our home. And I hope you will consider subscribing and joining and following me there and definitely sharing your comments. And of course, you're going to see all of my quilts incorporated in this channel as well because I love decorating with my quilts. Anyway, do subscribe. Let me know that you have subscribed. Thanks for watching the life update. So let's get back to the video. Checked. So front sides together, and I'm going to sew it. Now make sure that each fabric is the same width as well as the same length. That is important. So I'm going to sew all the way around, but before I do that, I am going to cut it to the length. As you can see, it's rather long. So I'm going to throw that down there and make sure that it's centered. Pin as I go along on the edge. Once everything is pinned and secure, I will then proceed to trim off the excess here. And then I'm going to sew all the way around, leaving a wide gap so I can pull it right side out. Once you've reached the end of the length of the linen, you need to now cut it. Now I can see through from the fabric here, and I'm going to cut exactly straight over. You can use your rotary cutter and a ruler to ensure that you have a nice straight edge. Next stage, leave a gap. I would say definitely to have a mark where you want to start and stop. Align your presser foot and then go all the way. Let your edge of the fabric be the alignment so that when you go all the way around, it's going to be even. Use a pen to mark off where you want to start and stop on both ends here. You need a wide enough gap so we can put our hand in and turn it right side out. Using your presser foot, or your machine feet in this case, what I would like you to do is to line up the edge of the fabric on all corners so that, and stitch all the way around. The reason for doing this is to ensure that the gap or the seam allowance is going to be correct size all around. Okay, so I just finished going all the way around, so I am going to do a back stitch here. Remember, we marked off where we're going to stop, so do a back stitch there, and then you're going to continue to come all the way down. So I'm going to do a back stitch, which I've done already, raise my presser foot as well as my needle and move down the fabric. That way I can give myself a good gap. I'm not going to break thread, and then I'm going to line up exactly where I was before, put my feet down, and I will do another back stitch here to start. So I will stitch and then I'm going to reverse, and that locks the stitch in. So therefore, when you're actually turning it right side out, you then will not rip any of the stitches you have done. And then you go ahead and finish up where you started off here. And again, I'm going to do another back stitch, go forward, and I'm done. So let's go flip it right side out. All right, so don't forget to literally poke out the corners. So I just did the top where the opening is, as you can see there, that's the opening. I'm going to now put my hands in right down to the bottom and make sure all the corners are poked out. That's important because we want it to look nice and rectangular. Otherwise we will have curved corners. It would look like that, sort of that flat shape. We don't want that. So poke as much as you can. Another tip is to literally pull it right side out. Let's just show you this here. And if you want, rather than leave it like that, you can simply just cut around it there. But I'm not going to bother with it. I don't think there's much fabric there. So you can just poke it out with your fingers, as long as you don't bore a hole in it if you're going to use something pointy there. Now what we're going to do now is to go ahead, and this will naturally fold in. As you can see, it's already tucking in. So I'm just going to do this, put my fingers, fold that up, and I'm going to do just a stitch right there to close that hole. Now, normally if you're doing something like this, you will probably feel inclined to do a top stitch all the way around, but we don't need to in this stage because we are going to add the burlap around. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So let's do the top stitch. I'm going to give it a good press once I've done the top stitch so that it's nice and crisp, and then we can move on to adding the burlap. And this project is going to be finished very, very soon. Let's approach the next steps now. So I have trimmed off some of my burlap lace from edge to edge. Bear in mind that I've given myself probably about 1/4 inch extension there, and on the same on the other side. I have layered it on top and I've placed it right to the end there, as you can see. The most important thing here is to layer it right to the end, and we're going to take another one, same length, and place it right to the back. The next important step is to make sure that each of the lace is lined properly. What we don't want is for it not to be aligned. So we want the scallop edges to be curving at the same time. If it's not, I would say make sure that the adjustment is correct when you pin it onto the actual table runner. So I'm going to run a long stitch along there and a long stitch along there. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other end, and then we will move on to the sides. So here is the reveal of the actual product. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but I did not use any batting. Did you pick up on that? Now, I have quilted it as normal, and yes, it does quilt fine. We do not need the 3 layers for a table runner. I think sometimes we forget that the batting is really just for warmth, and you can still get that dimply effect without adding the batting, and it works. As you can see here, you still have those impressions, you still see the stitching. And what do you think of me using the burlap lace on the edges as the border as well as the binding? I do think it works, and I think it adds a different dimension of texture and flow of the runner on the table. It does eliminate that stiffness if you're wondering. So it's very flowy, hence the reason why I use the word. And then, yes, I think it works in the sense that the color concept that I use is very much on trend with, so those earth tones and those sky blue tones as well. I think it looks all right, to be honest. Share with me down below if you would consider doing something like this. Yes, it's a shortcut. It may not be a traditional quilted table runner in the sense, but yes, I have used some shortcuts, and sometimes I think it's good to be original and think outside the box and extend your ideas and your collection of quilts. That you can upscale and downscale and change it around the way you see fit. All right, share with me down below what you think. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hype the video up. I'd love to hear your feedback. If you haven't subscribed as yet, what are you waiting on? Come on, do the girl Philip a favor and simply just subscribe. And don't forget to check out my new channel as well. And I can't wait to hear your comments. Both channels, actually. All right, guys, bye for now. Thanks for watching. And I really, really enjoyed this video today. See you in the next one.